Stamford's High Street is more than the town's main shopping street, it's the backbone of Stamford itself, shaped by over 1,000 years of trade, traffic and daily life. Stamford began as an Anglo-Saxon settlement at a crossing point over the River Welland. By the late 9th century, it had become one of the 5 boroughs of the Danelaw under Danish control. The High Street formed the principal east-west route through the town, and remarkably, that line has barely changed. By the medieval period, the High Street was Stamford's marketplace. Traders set up stalls along its length, and parts of the street became associated with particular trades. At times, even butchers' stalls stood in the roadway itself. The street wasn't just commercial, it was civic and social, the centre of town life. Stamford's position on the Great North Road transformed the High Street again in the 17th and 18th centuries. Coaches travelling between London and the north passed directly through it. Inns flourished. Archways opened into coaching yards. Horses were changed, passengers fed, and goods unloaded. The High Street became one of the busiest stretches of road in England. What makes Stamford unique is how much survived. While many towns were heavily rebuilt in the 19th and 20th centuries, Stamford retained its stone frontages, Georgian shopfronts, and medieval plot lines. That architectural survival led to Stamford becoming the first conservation area in England in 1967, recognising the national importance of its historic streetscape. For centuries, the High Street was a working road, filled with carts, livestock, motorcars, and eventually heavy traffic. The opening of the Stamford bypass in 1960 removed the A1 through traffic, dramatically reducing congestion in the town centre. But the biggest visible change came in the mid-1980s, when the High Street was formally pedestrianised. Around 1986, vehicles were removed and the street was redesigned as a pedestrian space. For the first time in centuries, it returned to something closer to its medieval function, a place for people rather than passing traffic. Today, markets still take place, echoing the High Street's original purpose. Independent shops and national retailers trade side by side, framed by buildings that have stood for hundreds of years. When you walk Stamford High Street, you're walking along the original spine of the town, a route that has evolved from Anglo-Saxon settlement to Danish borough, from medieval market to coaching highway, and finally to the pedestrian heart of a preserved historic town.